Hey guys, I'm back. I'm going to talk about PvP Retribution 11.9.31. The spec will be in a hyperlink down below. You can check it out. PvP Retribution has significant talent changes compared to PvE Retribution. So that's worth mentioning right off the bat. I think. Well, I just want to say I I filmed a couple of my duels. And I have to say, I had a lot of fun dueling as the classic Ret, I guess some people would call it, or deep Ret PvP. Um, I don't know, it was fun. It wasn't so, it was more precise a little bit, I guess. I do want to mention the main things that's different from PvE Ret and PvP Ret. First things, 1 point. Actually, you take 2 points in precision and you pick up Guardian Favor for PvP, whereas in PvE you want to have all +3 hit chance normally. It kind of depends on your gear, but most of the time. And you don't need Guardian Favor really. I mean, you might still pick up Guardian Favor because you want to bot people more often. It depends. Instead of getting Divine Intellect in the Holy Tree, I would definitely pick up Spiritual Focus. The healing combat occasionally is pretty helpful. The Ret tree, I don't normally pick up Benediction and Improve Might. It's either one or the other. Kind of depends on what's going on, but I like to pick up Eye for an Eye. I feel like Eye for an Eye is one of the best 2 talents of any class you can get for 2 talent points. Especially a Paladin class that has quite a lot of HP and can heal himself, get more HP. Over the course of the fight, Eye for an Eye can do a lot of damage. It also stacks with Sanctity Aura, and it also can crit. So, and it might even, I don't know, I don't think it stacks with Spell Power. I need to test that, but I know it can crit off Spell Crit. Anyways, I also like to pick up for Parry. I wouldn't normally pick up Parry in the PvE build. Now I'm going to go over real quick what makes it different, or how is it different than Ret Reckoning. And first thing I want to mention is itemization. So Ret Reckoning, you're like the vanguard, you're a guy in the front, you're getting hit by everyone. I think play classic Ret correctly, you don't really want to be the warrior. You don't want to be up front and center. You want to be just behind the main vanguard unit. So what does this mean for stats? Well, I would actually stack less HP and get as much strength as possible. And another reason for that is you do actually get divine strength with this build. So you also get the 10% bonus, and yeah, strength can help you burst with Ret Reckoning, but if you're dead, it doesn't really matter. But with this build, you can repentance your enemies, and then you can heal yourself more, and you have healing combat. So having a bigger HP cap isn't as important. It's more like the HP you have needs to be more efficient in ratio to the damage you can do. So in general, I go a little more strength heavy with Deep Ret compared to Ret Reckoning. How you fight in PvP is a bit different too. Ret Reckoning, you want to stand on top of your opponent. You literally want them to hit you with everything so you can get your counters. I call Deep Ret jousting. And why jousting is a good terminology for it, what you're doing is you're going in to hit the enemy whenever your swing timer is about to go. And then when you're not, you kind of want to back off. So say you're fighting a rogue. If you swing, you want to have freedom on yourself and jump strafe backwards. You don't want to do like with Reckoning. A lot of times I'll just stand there and I'll backpedal and it'll just be pummeling me. But with this build, you want to kind of strafe away from them until you're ready to swing again. So think of like a knight in his lance, and he goes in for the hit, he runs past them, and then he comes back and he goes for the hit. That kind of concept. The spec can duel, and as I mentioned earlier, I had a lot of fun dueling with it. Ret Reckoning can be kind of overpowering in a lot of matchups, and you don't have the lotus of control. It's based more like how much does your opponent crit you, where this is like you got another form of CC. It's a little bit more control. It's not as reckless. You don't want to take damage for no reason. So I don't know. It had a feel to it. It was really fun. But that being said, I think you need to be careful about doing an organized PvP with this build, is you don't want to get caught up in your pride trying to run off and duel people. First of all, you probably don't have a whole lot of stamina, so it's kind of a dangerous game. I mean, I will get as low as 3,800 HP and just tons of damage gear. And it's kind of a dangerous game when people can soul fire you for 4K. So, but you can still beat people dueling. You definitely can. But another problem is, since you're not as bursty and you're more like a long drawn out battle plan, you get low, you repentance them, you heal, you strike them, you stun, you heal. They're out of interrupts, you heal in combat with spiritual focus, you fake out their pummel. These kind of things are all going on. And it just takes the fight together. You're jousting, so you take less damage, but you're also doing less damage because you don't have the counters. So what happens is the fights take long enough that if they just blind you and reset, you've now wasted a whole bunch of time that you could have been doing the objectives. So you can duel, but dueling and shouldn't be your itemization. It shouldn't be what you itemize for really with the spec, and you shouldn't be sacrificing the objective in Warsong, because it's not like Ret Reckoning where you just run up to someone and you say, "Oh, it's a duel. Oh, I blew your head off. You're dead," or "My rec bomb totally failed, and now, well, fuck it, I'll just run away." It takes more of a commitment to kill someone, and if they're getting healed too, you get someone almost dead and they get a heal. You really wasted a lot of time. So how you do play the class is you find like a warrior, a Mortal Strike warrior, and you follow them around, and you just hit the target they're hitting, and you keep them cleansed. You give them your freedom over yourself because you're gonna cleanse yourself and stuff, and you might step back and spot heal if the main healer gets silenced. You have healing combat, you step back, you throw out all your mana, keeping whoever alive till the silence falls off. It's actually pretty damn good. It's not bad, but you gotta have that like assist. You're the assist healer, you're the assist warrior. If you don't have that mentality, you won't play it right. Don't have the macho man mentality. You'll just waste time that you could be doing objectives. Okay. And I don't really think Ret Reckoning or Ret are. I think Holy is the best for highest in pre-made, but I do think you could pre-made as a Ret. I think people are a little ridiculous with how much they're against the class and the builds for Rets. But that being said, I think at the highest end, 31-20-0 standard heal in combat, deal no damage, Holy Paladin is the best for pre-made. But Ret Paladins are another thing. Ret Reckoning, because it's a little bit like you're the Vanguard unit, you do need a little bit more of a specialized group to play regular Ret right. Because you have to have the assisting role, so you're not the carry. It really sucks to play Ret when there's no one on your team that has Mortal Strike. There's no one on your team that can actually you can't actually support. There's no one worth supporting. I don't really like Ret then. Next, I'll have to cover some different weapons. Weapons like the Hand of Rag and the Nicker, better for Ret Reckoning because that dot can keep rogues out of stealth. But like Dark Edge of Insanity, while good for Ret Reckoning, it's really nice with just regular Ret because once again, it's a chance to get a heal off. And that's kind of like it fits to the theme of what you're trying to do. Another point I need to bring up is Insignia of the Alliance and generic PvP for Ret Reckoning isn't the most important thing in the world because even when you're stunned, you're often still getting counters. But I think for a long laid out battle plan that's usually required to win a fight as Ret, there's going to be a moment where you really have to use that trinket in most matchups. Or I guess you're more reliant on like gimmicky trinkets instead of like one big power stroke. So I guess Ret Reckoning goes really well with like I don't know ZG Hero Charm, for example, or the Earth Striker. Something to think about in general. I think you need to have more on par gear with your opponents to win duels with Deep Ret, where maybe Ret Reckoning is more about the synergy you build for duel fighting. So you can have pretty low gear, but as long as it's synergistic, you can win pretty. You can beat people that are out gear you pretty bad. Where Ret Reckoning is more like you need to have close to their gear score, or you'll probably just barely not have enough damage to do what you need to do. The flip side is that it's not. It's more all-rounded. You always have a chance against everyone as long as your gear is close to their gear score. So I hope this cleared up some things for you guys. Ret PvP is pretty good. It's nice that you can use it in dungeons while you're trying to get your gear. And I don't know. Days Fault. Good luck, guys.